So sometimes a free car is just a free car because there's more things going on than what people know. So it's been parked in my garage for about 9 months maybe. It is a 96 Mustang convertible. And my neighbor gave me this car for free. So I'd mentioned it in a video in the past. The city has very strict rules on parking in your driveway and blocking the sidewalk. She had this car parked there because she said it was smoking when she came home. She didn't know what to do about it, and she had already done some other things. She just put brand new tires on it, and something was going on, and they didn't get the tire seated on the rim very well. So this back tire will lose air after a few days. She never took it back and made them do anything about it. Very meek woman. Very nice and polite woman. I'm sure if you got her mad, maybe, you know, she'd start busting your chops. But joggers go by, and the city is very strict on it, like I said. They get enough complaints, the police will come and give you a ticket. This is also in the school zone areas of the city. And people walking to school, parents, joggers, you know, just a high traffic road in general. So this car was sitting parked, and they were getting multiple complaints and tickets and fines. So I said, hey, you know, my son is interested in your car. What's going on with it? And would you be willing to sell it? She said he can have it. I don't know what's wrong with it. It was smoking on my way home, and I parked it and never did anything with it. So I got all her receipts. She signed it over to me. It's been sitting in my garage. It's a nice sunny day. We did a little light load of work, and it was just him and I. We said, hey, let's drive it home. So while I mowed and tidied up and did some things, he went through and made sure it had water and oil and things. We found it had a crack in the top of the radiator. We thought, okay, this must be the problem. Well, she started sputtering about a mile or two outside of town. And now here I am, stuck between point A and point B with the car. So we're trying to get a hold of my father-in-law because he's got a truck and chains and tow ropes. And we got to figure out how to get this to his farm property a few more miles away because we don't want to tow it back to the house and have to go into the city that way. So we're going to keep going on through the country. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. So this free car, is going to be another project. We're working on trucks right now. We're working on painting. My life is just one project after another, isn't it? But, you know, you donate a car, you get a $200-300 tax credit. You look at the blue book on these cars, and they're going higher than the blue books right now. So maybe we can fix her up. But brand new aggressive low profile tires. Brand new paint job. Let me turn it around so you can see it. So it's a pretty nice looking car, I'd say. It was repainted the same color it already was, so it's not very noticeable. And maybe you can tell on camera, it's covered in dust, you know, from sitting, but not a great paint job or clear coat job. You can see just a light texture effect to it. Good color match, I would say. And I think they even put a new top on it. For it being a 96, it's in really good shape. They had dogs. They were a bit of pet owners, so there was a little bit of trouble right here. But I've done this kind of stuff before, and I would bet dollars to donuts I could probably swap that out with another one that's been a wreck. But you can see here, you know, the spray paint job, and then the original is so shiny and pretty. So it was close, just not as high quality. In our area, especially in the day, Mako paint jobs, $100 paint jobs were something. So I don't know what all we got here. We've got Ford stickers. Yeah, see, they didn't go. They taped it off right here. So that interior part looks really nice. But the seats, there was a slight stain here from something. It's a good little car, but I don't think it's a good car for Jack, for as tall as he is. I decided to kind of talk him out of it. That's the free Mustang. He got back with the chain from his dad's farm before we were able to get everyone all in sync. So we did get a hold of his dad, but he wasn't at the farm. We stole the chain from the driveway and we're hooking the two cars together. My poor Buick. My Buick's gonna be the tow vehicle.
I'm a professional loser. I've done this before.
So the car started sputtering way down there at the end of the road, really bad, and he had me flooring it, and it was going 2,000, 2,500 RPMs and just rolling, you know. We did notice that the car was starting to warm up a little bit, so we topped it all off with water and brought water with us. But this is just like the stuff in those YouTube videos with cars. They'll go get a car that's been sitting for years and take it out on the road. Well, I don't know what's going on with this one, but it was missing really bad. So maybe there was more to it than the radiator. There was stuff oozing out of the top neck part of the radiator. Higher than I thought it would have mattered. So it might just be a head gasket problem. I don't know. I had that with that little Ford Granada I had. That Ford Granada I had the same problem. Missing like that, sputtering. That's exactly what it felt like. Bought a Ford Granada on the side of the road 28 years ago. 27 years ago. Drove fine, test drove it home, started sputtering the next day. Found out that the guy was cleaning the spark plugs up for test drives, and then they'd get flooded again. So I took it to the dealership. It was the only place I knew in my small town to do anything, and we actually had a Ford dealership. They rebuilt my engine for me. Picked it up, started doing it again a couple days later. They said, oh, we only rebuilt half the engine. You're gonna have to give us more money to do the rest.
Okay, lock it up.
Yeah, well, make sure the key works for it. I don't know. That'd be terrible. She only gave me one key.
Watch.
All right.
Good?
Yep.
Does it have power locks? Or is this just
I have no idea.
locks for the windows? This is locks for the window. Oh, wait. Yep.
So we were literally a quarter to a half a mile past some of his dad's farmland, and I didn't even think about like pushing it to that spot. This farmland, luckily, has a chain gate. I don't know what was on the other one. Why didn't we even think of that?
Huh?
Is there a chain on the other property?
No. No.
So he came over here to see if his dad was here, and he wasn't.
Came up to try to find him and stole his chain.
Yeah.
So now I'll put his gate back up.
So this is just farmland that he has. This is where he does all of his hay farming. So you can see he's got all his round bales. Are these last year's round bales or this year?
Last year.
All right. I'll just show you real quick. He's got another pile here. Time to start unloading them. If you need some round bales and you're in Michigan, let me know, because I'm sure I could probably get these around for you. He's got a backhoe a few miles away and he could load them up on a trailer. But this is just beautiful and it is ready to be cut again. So better to be getting rid of that last year stuff. And it was so wet for so long that a lot of people haven't been able to get to things. And ours is about looking like this too. This is less than knee high, so it's ready. I imagine that this is going to be a second cutting for him. And he's trying to work on some square bales this year. They're just manageable and easier, you know, for selling and loading instead of bringing out a backhoe. So after all our other work today, at least this broke down on the way home instead of if we'd already passed the place. So maybe we'll come back tomorrow and look into it a little more and see what's going on. It's getting to be dinner time. We got to get out of these mosquitoes and go home and eat some dinner. So we'll let you know what we find out about the free car.
I was road wrong. He was born right down here.
Yeah.
He spelled the name of the road wrong on the thing.
Well, I can't show that.
Well, I can still laugh about it. Close enough. All right.
His dad's only concern was that we put the signs back up that say no trespassing and keep out and whatever. So he's
All right.
got a neighborhood of people who like to leave this for their dump. All right, it's the next day. The Savior came with a 14-foot trailer. We've got about a mere 6 inches of clearance. So we're taking her home. I called around. We're checking into a radiator. We found a crack up at the top. He thinks it might be the fuel filter because if we give it ether, it goes. If I press on the throttle at all, it stalls out. If I go from park to a gear, it wants to stall out. But if I go from neutral to a gear, it does okay. And if it is on an angle, it just wants to stall out for me pressing the throttle. But we can hear the fuel pump running. So, process of elimination, we check the pressure at the injectors and things like that. Little things, you know, I called around. $99 to $150 for a radiator, you know, $10, $15 for a fuel filter. So we're going to start there with the fuel filter. Possibly tomorrow. We got like a week of rain going on, but at least we got it home and it's out of the rental house that's going to get sold at the other town because a parked car in a garage makes a garage look small. Some guy's going to see that garage and go, oh, look at all this space. I can have a workshop. So I'd be thrilled to get rid of it. All right, so fortunately it was Sunday afternoon and I called around locally. AutoZone and O'Reilly's had this fuel filter in stock. It's a MicroGuard 33097. It is a short, fat filter. It is probably, what is that, like 3 inches? It's big.
4.
Oh, really?
3.5, 4 inches. Wow.
It comes with a locking tab, so make sure that you... Hi, George. Make sure you have the locking tabs in the box before you leave the store because you have to have these, and likely the ones that are on the car are going to break. A lot of the videos on YouTube tell you need these disconnect tools. This vehicle being switched to this at some point already, we didn't need these, and these were like $8 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
See,
supposed
he just
to need them, but they've changed something, or it was too early. Or
yeah.
something.
So the little locking tabs, you know, they're plastic and they're
Two
brittle.
locking tabs.
Yeah. You're too close. There you go. Here. So we're starting with the fuel filter first thing today. It's just a light mist right now, but it's supposed to rain cats and dogs for 6 hours today. So we're just fiddling with what we can get done. I noticed that the center cap is a spin out, like more like a nut. And I think they may have stripped it. I'm not real sure, but I can find that on eBay at the moment. I'm just not sure about the threads. $20. A new one's like 40 and 50. Nuts. I'm assuming that they stripped it out trying to put it on and off, trying to figure out about their flat tires. But look at these headlights. I think we better be getting a hold of that Eagle Eyes light replacements that we got on the other car and swap these out. I know that there's kits that are supposed to help with that, but this one is all fine little cracks. But that really makes a car look bad having that like that. But otherwise, the unloading went decent enough. It's not exactly a car hauling trailer, but we managed it. Okay, here's the original filter.
Not original, from Napa.
Okay, the one that was on.
Pretty old. So when they dump it out, the fuel goes this way. It didn't want to let anything more. See, it just wanted to kind of trickle out. It was all being held by the dirty paper inside. When you flip it over, it just dumped.
Okay.
So this is from '08. This is 13 years old.
Okay.
So that's, for a daily driver,
Yeah.
that's really old. So hopefully that's part of the problem, or the problem. Okay, you got some new parts there, bud?
Sure. Got some new parts. I'm the parts lady. I run around and buy parts. I think I've been to the parts store about 4 times this last week, if you count just auto parts stores. I'd get down there and show you what he's doing, but it's pretty tight. Okay, we've got it running with better idle than we had. It still misses just a little bit. It probably needs a tune-up. He noticed that he was gonna check the oil. He pulled the dipstick out and it wanted to stall. So he put it back in and I gave it a little gas. So what do you think is happening?
Then I pulled the cap where you put the oil in the engine, and it's sucking air in the engine through the cap. It's like backwards of crankcase ventilation. It's trying to pull air in.
Yeah.
And I pulled the cap off and it wanted to stall. It sucks air. Put it back on, runs fine. So I thought, well, is it actually trying to get air in through the rings backwards? So I checked the air filter and it's like brand new.
Okay.
So I have to look it up. I've never heard of that. Or unless that's how these are.
Yeah.
It's like a...
What's these for?
I don't get it. Look it up.
Okay.
But it runs nice now.
Bimbolina breakdown deterrent, you know, like when you have the dummy thing on the lawnmower seat so that you can't run it. You can't check your oil and leave the dipstick out or the car won't run. Well, it's doing better. It's off the jack, it's off the ramp, so we'll look into that and we'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What are you still doing here? Don't you got another video to watch on the Mommy Milestones playlist? There's one for farm, there's one for house repairs, vehicle repairs, family fun and homeschool stuff. I've got to go to work too. I've got things to get done. I've got more house painting to do myself. Get out of here. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Georgie says bye too. Go click on another one of our videos.